Hello, everybody. I tried really hard to not say howdy this time. So, here we are. Timberwolves win. Easy win. Never thought anything about it. I was honestly really bored at Target Center. I was so bored. No, that was stressful as hell. The first half, I was bad. I was down bad. Um, but my, oh my. Gerald in the chat already says, "Wow, big win. Nice to see them come back and take this. Can't believe I almost turned off this game." I was at the game, so I couldn't turn it off. But my goodness, at like halftime, third quarter ish, my hands were like this at the game. I was like, "Oh my gosh, we're ruining this game." Oh, 6 cents. I forgot. I'm sorry. This was a good game for you guys. I mean, it's kind of a bad game for both teams. But LaMelo looked great tonight. I mean, I actually don't know how well he shot, but like you can just tell. I mean, like we don't get to see him on a nightly basis, so I think there's a lot of people that say like he's overrated and whatever. Obviously, Ant versus LaMelo. That's the title of the video. But I mean, it was evident that when he was out there, the team was better, and when he fouled out, it was like they were toast. But either way, fun game. I mean, it ended up being fun for both teams. Both teams had their runs. Both teams had their exciting moments, dunks, everything. We lost Ant. I don't know how for how long. I truly have barely been on Twitter since I got home from the game. They have live tickets in the Timberwolves app, by the way. I forgot to share that. Live tickets. There were some lower level. There's some bugged ones in the lower level, but still check that out. And if you're new here, this is what we do after every game. So welcome. Subscribe to the channel if you feel like it. We also have some other content that we do, but more so this live stuff. So feel free to check it out. Like the stream if you haven't already. And yeah, let's just dive right into the game. So Timberwolves go to 31 and 27, I think. 31 and 27 sounds about right. 6 cents says Charlotte's 0 and 5 in overtime this year now. Damn. I'm sorry. I feel like I've seen the Charlotte Hornets kind of blow some games, but that's too bad. I won my prize picks tonight, so I'm pretty happy. Let me see if I can find it here. Yeah, here it is. Oops. You see it? Whoa, there's me. Boom. Oh, can't really see it. But either way, I won, so I'm happy. Anyways, welcome to the stream. No Ashwin tonight, just me. So let's get the stats pulled up here. Obviously, Ant. So talk to me about Ant. Is Ant okay? I haven't seen Twitter that much. Is he gonna be okay? Because I saw that he was sprained ankle. I saw him go off at halftime, but he looked okay-ish. So maybe it was just precautionary. Hopefully, it was just precautionary. But man, this would have hurt to lose this game after D'Lo has everybody come to the game. He buys all the tickets or whatever that I sat in, and I stood, everybody. So don't you worry, your built from day one host stood. But it would have been sad to lose this game. And at halftime, everybody, the place was dead silent. It was just the typical library that I call it. It was just quiet. Nobody's there. They called this a sellout. It definitely was not a sellout. I mean, for one, in the sections behind the basket, upper deck, they block them off. You can't even buy those tickets. So for one, lying there, and then two, there are plenty of open seats. Sure, people could have bought them, but there's plenty of open seats in the lower bowl. And before the game, I was looking to see what tickets were available, and there were plenty of tickets available. Sure, I'm sure that more people showed up to this game than other games, but I don't think it was like that insane. But either way, fun game at the end. I just look at this. I didn't realize Charlotte was now below 500. Those are the tickets you got. Gerald, were you at the game? No, you weren't at the game, were you? Oh, wait. I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, no, there were really good seats that I had. I mean, I was sitting right up there. Lexus courtside. Oh, okay. Nice. Yeah. That's why people aren't there. That's true. That is true. But yeah, either way. Um, super super fun to be there at the end. And then when Carl took over at the end, man, we were talking about it in the Discord a little bit. I wasn't really that present for the Discord because the Wi-Fi in Target Center is atrocious. But you know, uh, you have a question. Sixth Sense, perfect. That's perfect. Hornets stink, no way around it. Mid team and LaMelo is a bust. Okay, I do believe Jelson is trolling. I do not condone. Well, I guess I condone a little bit of trolling, but I don't condone Melo hate. Because I think LaMelo's great, and I'm so sad that LaMelo and Ant aren't playing on the same team at the Rising Stars Challenge. I think that would be so fun. I think that would be so fun. Um, but yeah. Also, LaMelo, maybe Sixth Sense, you can answer this. All game, maybe they didn't show this on TV. He's just doing this the whole game. I don't know why I'm messing up my camera. He's just like trying to fix his wrists like they hurt or something. He does not look well. He looks like he's in pain. So that was weird. But yeah. So the Ant thing, Cat. Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. In the game, Cat was taking over the fourth quarter, but there were also so many bad Cat moments. So many bad Cat moments. Terrible behind the back passes, pointless behind the back passes, crazy, just bad turnovers. There were a couple fouls too, but I don't think it was that egregious. He had 4 fouls. But man, he just had some really bad things. But then he just started taking over, you know. It bothers me that they both haven't had a game where they're both on. I want to see a dual game bad. Seriously, Gerald. Seriously. Need that. We need a duel. That's why I put the title as what it is, so that people would click on it and watch it. But I enjoy LaMelo, but that guy dribbles like a chicken with its head covered. You know, the one thing about LaMelo though is that he does look kind of out of control and wild, and I think that's why a lot of people laughed when he came into the league, because it just doesn't look serious. You know, it looks like he's insane. It looks like a kid out there trying to play basketball, but he's tall and his handle is under control. And he, even though his shot looks really weird, it goes in, you know? It's the same thing as like Steph, the same thing as like a lot of these players where it's like, you know, it just works. Just do it, you know? Maybe Steph's a bad example, but you know what I mean? Like, there's just players that have bad technique and it works for them. Go ahead, you know, whatever. If it works, go ahead. Let's see. Godfrey, Cat kicked Montrez. Oh my gosh, yes, thank you, Godfrey. That was a hilarious moment. Oh my gosh. That was I couldn't believe it. At first I thought that it wasn't that bad. I thought Cat, because Cat had the ball stripped from him and he's just kind of flailing to grab the ball. I didn't see him kick his leg out that crazy. And then the replay, oh my god. That was comedy. I mean, that was a Cat nutty. Yes, Ashwin. Yes. Ashwin is in the house. Yeah, you nutty on Cat. Okay. Plumlee pushed him. Oh, did he? Okay, I didn't even pay attention. I was just too paying attention because his leg goes so far out to the side, just a little tap, little sack tap. Man, poor Montrez. But that was hilarious. Everybody was laughing in the stadium. That was a crazy moment. And we started the game really hot too. For like the first couple minutes. Well, not hot, but we went up. You know, we were up like 14-7, I want to say, at a point, or 12-7. So it was decent. You know, I think we might have even been higher at a point, but you know, wasn't crazy straight. He's just sacked up. Man, oh man. Nightbot up in the chat, acting up. Oh well. Latest video. I don't even know I had a command for that. But yeah. Weird game, fun game. Let's take a look. So the Suns are leading the Clippers right now. Let's take a look. So what are the other games looking like? So we probably want the Suns to win. The Suns are winning 99-95. Yeah, we want the Suns to win. I mean, we don't want the Clippers to have any chance. And then the Mavs beat the Heat. Oof. Ouch. We can't have the Mavs win at games like this. What? Also, apparently the Celtics went nuts on the 76ers today. They won like by 50. What's going on? I guess they don't have who is it? James Harden yet. Pacers, Bucks, don't care about that. We beat the Hornets. Sorry, Hornets. And then the Grizzlies beat, man, the Grizzlies. I feel like they haven't lost a game in the last 2 months. It's just crazy. Nice Nightbot says, Cat says he'll do another behind the back turnover if you don't subscribe to the channel now. So shout out to any of you that have not subscribed, because I think like 80% of people that watch don't subscribe, which seems crazy to me because everybody's in the Discord, so I know you are subscribed. But 6, you are a master. Let's see. Yeah. I was at the game. Wow, what a great game. Yes, Jared. I was also at the game, courtesy of D-Lo. Section 112, row J. How about that? And I had Nashville hot chicken from Nashville Coop Co-op. I don't know. Pretty good, though. Probably have some on my face. But got it on my fingers still, too. But Plumlee literally tried to trip D-Lo. They called it a common foul. Jelson, I actually disagree. You know, I try to be biased, and I think this is a situation where I am being even. I don't think he was trying to trip him. I think it was reckless. I do think it was reckless, and I think that Nas does stuff like this a lot. Not that that excuses it, but one, he almost he really barely touched him. He didn't even touch him that much. But anytime you have a player that's diving towards another player's legs, it definitely is a little suspect. I don't think there was any intent behind it. I think it was just going for the ball, but like he had no chance at the ball. But I mean, hey, I'm here for the Plumlee hate any day of the week. Supercuts, we can make fun of them all we want, but I don't think that was necessarily a dirty play, and I probably do think it was a common foul. I think that should have been a flagrant one. I don't think so. Reckless, but common foul was the correct call. Okay, good. That's what it felt like from the game and the replays that they showed. It didn't look like he even touched him, really. Should have been a flagrant no matter what. You know, Justin, you do kind of have a point there, because like anytime, like think of like when a player gets into a player's landing space on shooting a 3 or any jump shot, you know, like that's not like necessarily malicious most of the time, but it is something super dangerous. So, you know, it's like, but you know, there has to be a line someplace, and I felt like tonight that was probably okay. But kicking Harrell in the nuts, though, that was definitely. Plumlee wants to be a point center so bad. It's weird. He did seem like that tonight. He has some pretty interesting free throws as well. That was pretty fun to watch. He somehow knocked in those last 2. They were bouncing all over the place, and he shoots it so different every time. It's unbelievable to me that all of these NBA players, even if you're a bad free throw shooter, have completely different technique and ball arc every time. How is that possible? D'Lo was able to recover. I'm surprised D'Lo. Godfrey. Okay. That was a good one, Godfrey. That was a good one. He did kind of try to sell it a little bit. He was on the floor for a while. Like Plumlee pushed Cat into kicking Trez, and that was flagrant. Yeah, but like, yeah, he did push him. I guess I didn't see that, but that's what everybody has been telling me so far. But Cat also kicks his leg out insanely, like insanely. You know, it's just typical Cat. Like I wish he would stop. Yeah, I mean, you guys probably could. I mean, I think Harrell will be a good pickup for you guys. I was kind of surprised that Harrell didn't go crazier tonight. One fun observation from the game, you know, from what I've been reading a lot. I've been listening to a lot of podcasts. I've been reading like The Athletic. I got my $1 subscription to The Athletic again. I was reading a lot from a bunch of different perspectives, and it sounds like the Timberwolves seriously were in on Montrezl Harrell, and that the Wizards just wanted too much. I can't remember. There was something that we didn't want to give up. Before the game, when they were doing the intros, Montrez was not with the Charlotte Hornets. He was in the middle of the court looking up at the board and kind of looking around at the fans. And it very much looked like this could have been my home kind of thing. It was interesting, you know, to see that kind of level of like him just looking around and kind of taking it all in, because no player ever really looks up for that kind of stuff. To see him, though, kind of looking around like that was cool. Also, side note, he looks way bigger on TV. He is not big. I mean, he's big, but like relatively, really not that big, you know? Kind of weird. Let's see. Wish he wasn't allowed to dribble the ball up court as much. Yeah, I didn't feel like he was too insane, but it definitely felt like there was possibilities for like tragic Bronson alert type of deal. Trez is so bad, in my opinion. Tonight he wasn't great. I don't know. I think he's like, we're not expecting him to be like a cat type player. I'd give the Hornets THT, Kendrick Nunn, and a 2027 first round pick for Trez. I don't know what that's saying. Anyways, either way, fun night. I think what we're gonna do, oh nope, we're not gonna do that. What I'm gonna do is first, see, I am going to one friendly reminder. There are free tickets in the Timberwolves app. Go check that out. I think they're still there anyways. I'm just checking it to make sure they are still there. Yes. Still a little bit of lower level maybe. Probably not. But we're going to do the over-under. So let's take a look at the over-under that we did in the Discord tonight. Brought to you by the big boy in the Discord. The big boy, if you want me to call you something different, let me know. But let's see here. Where's the over-under? Over-under. All right. So our 4 over-unders that we had in the Discord tonight. We had, and then after this, we're going to the tier list. Tier list after this. So, first was D'Lo over under 19.5 points. I actually didn't fill this out today, but it was under for me in my prize picks. Everyone else chose over. He was under. He had 18 points. Vando, 8.5 rebounds over or under. I haven't looked at stats yet. I honestly probably would have guessed the under just because he has not been rebounding or scoring as much lately. But let's see. Never mind. I'm completely wrong. He had 14 rebounds somehow. I guess overtime and fourth quarter brought that because they missed a lot of shots in the fourth quarter. And he probably had a few. Yeah, there was 4 offensive rebounds. I think those probably all came in the fourth quarter. So he had over 8.5 rebounds. Hopefully I can start to rely on him again as a prize pick. LaMelo Ball over 8.5 assists. I don't remember what he had. I think he did not have that many assists at a point, but he probably gained a lot. LaMelo ended up with, where'd he go? I lost him. 6 assists. Only 6 assists. He actually didn't have that. I mean, he had a good game, but it wasn't like insane, Then lastly, Hornets highest scoring quarter, 37.5 points. I don't think that happened. I don't know for certain. Let me see if I can see. They did not. So under that, and it looks like everybody chose under. I didn't even say everybody. 3 people said over for LaMelo, and 3 people said over. So it looks like tonight, Gerald won the over-under. Brought to you by Arby's, true. Congrats, Gerald. You get a pat on the back. Somewhere down the line, 5 years from now, when we're sponsored by Arby's, we're sponsored by Window Concepts, we'll have prizes. Someday there will be prizes. So get involved early, and you can be a legacy member, and you'll get an NFT. Although I heard that you have to pay gas to have an NFT. I thought I understood it at a point, and now I'm starting to not understand it. It's confusing to me. Anyways, into the tier list. If you're new here, subscribe, like the channel. But it's tier list time. Tier list. And I think JBX might have been busy tonight. I'm not 100% certain. JBX did tweet at me on Twitter. I retweeted it. He showed his whole setup. I thought that was pretty sick. So yeah, we're gonna do this here. Where on the app? Jared, I think I might be behind. I don't know what's going on, but yes, it is on the Timberwolves app. Go to the more and then the RB section. Tickets. I don't know if they're still lower level, but there's at least upper level for free or $1 or whatever. Jelson, Cam, do you evade the tax collectors like all the cool Timberwolves fans? What are you talking about? The tax collectors? Oh, are you talking about NFTs? I have no idea. Where on the app do I get the free tickets? Yeah. So go to the Timberwolves app, and then when you're on the Timberwolves app, you go to more at the bottom right-hand corner. This is like my job now. You click on the We Have the Threes Arby's promotion. Boom. There it is. Tier list looking like it moved. It does look like it moved. I don't know why. Oops, it did. Because I scrolled. How silly. Thank you, Ashwin. Hop on, Ashwin. No, D'Lo, breaking news, has tweeted, "Wow, game ball to you fans that had your living rooms and Target Center rocking tonight. I'm excited. I'm gonna rewatch this game. I'm probably going to skip the first half, maybe even the first 3 quarters, but I am going to watch it again for sure." Anyways, let's get into the tier list. We got 11 in here. I appreciate you all tuning in. I know I'm kind of late. I was at the game repping Ant, but let's get into it. So, all right, let's do. Who do we want to do tonight? We'll start with Baby Mac. So Baby Mac played a bit of minutes, 16 minutes, 5 points, 3 assists, 2 of 6 shooting. Feel free to give your ratings for Baby Mac in the chat. But Baby Mac tonight, kind of a weird night for him. He was out there kind of in some important moments. There were times when Finch swapped in D'Lo and him. It was odd timing sometimes. He also had him out there for some more defensive lineups. The one thing I will say, him and D'Lo have a weird connection where they can find each. Well, D'Lo can find J Mac, Baby Mac. I need to say Baby Mac, very easily, and it is very fun when he does it, because it's almost like it's not a no look pass necessarily. It's like a no look catch. It's like a wide receiver in football. It's like D'Lo's throwing the ball to him before he's even close to looking over his shoulder for it, and then he finds it, just lays it right in. It's incredible. But I'm trying to get ratioed. I see what you're saying. That's what you were talking about at the beginning. I had no idea what you're talking about. I do hope Ant is okay, Ashwin. I have no idea. I have to look at like everything to find this. But anyways, I'm spending too much time on Baby Mac. Baby Mac tonight was decent, but I wouldn't say there was anything great, anything terrible. I'm going to go with a C. I mean, this is fair. Probably what I expect out of him. I don't want to blame him for anything. I think this is fine. So, next up, I don't really want to do Beasley, but I guess we will. This was a bad night from Beasley. There were some defensive plays that he had, but like, I don't know. Not good. I don't necessarily want to say Wancho because we won, but like he was not good tonight. Honestly, maybe it is Wancho. It's probably Wancho. I'm just gonna go with Wancho. But we'll get him out of the way. This is all in a wonky order, but we're gonna leave it because I think Jaden does deserve it to be in the top 5 tonight. So we'll go with where'd he go? Vanderbilt tonight. So Vanderbilt played 37 minutes. Oh yeah, Noel. That's right. You wanted Noel's minutes. I see. Yeah, I wanted Noel minutes too. I was actually shocked that we even got any Noel minutes. I mean, once Ant went out, I felt like we had to, and luckily that happened. I'm probably not gonna grade him. He did fine, but I'm realizing, at least at the game, there are many plays where he is just in the wrong spot and he's just behind. I think his shot is still there, which is incredible. I was worried that it was gonna go away after this long stint of nothing, but yeah, he was fine. I think he made both of his shots tonight. He only take 2. He took 2 and made 2. Yep, a 3 and then that lay in. So, good night for him. I'm not gonna grade him just because he only played 5 minutes and whatever. It's really hard to grade that. But yeah. Anyways, Vando tonight played 37 minutes, had 10 points, 14 rebounds. He has this ability to occasionally slip free for a dunk, and he did that late in game tonight. I think this was a good game for him. I don't think this was like overly good. I do now that I think about it, there were some rebounds late game that he did get. He won some kind of crucial rebounds for us, hustle plays. So yeah, it was a good Vando night. But I think it's weird because like we kind of expect this out of him, but I'm gonna give him a B. I think this wasn't a bad game, but it also just wasn't like an overly good game. Maybe I have a totally different perspective from watching at the game versus on TV. Maybe there were plays that I'm just missing on TV. But yeah, I have felt a little bit less excited about Vanderbilt lately. Actually, the one thing that I do need to mention on Vanderbilt, I don't think there was a time tonight, other than that late game dunk, where he successfully handled a pass. And I'm not saying him passing it, I'm saying he couldn't hold a pass that was passed to him. It was infuriating. I could not believe every time he caught it. It was crazy. But man, frustrating. But either way, I'll stick with a B. So Jelson's got to go to work tomorrow, so I'm going to go to bed. My last note of the night: Wancho should be an A1 because Finch is so good that he would make him A1. True. But he's just permanent Glenn Taylor tier. All right. Let's move on to Jaden. And honestly, I probably should save Jaden for last because Jaden was incredible tonight. I love Jaden tonight. I loved Jaden tonight. This is a very interesting night. Yeah, but I didn't even say good night. Good night, Chelsea. um, interesting night for Jaden. Great night for Jaden. And an interesting night for me, who is known Jaden McDaniels doubter. You know, I this was a hard night to doubt his ability. You know, he scored, he rebounded, he had some pretty amazing passes at times. Defending was insane. I mean, he had like what 3 or 4 steals, maybe even blocks. Let me see. He had 4 steals, 2 blocks, 7 of 14 shooting. He was not shy again tonight. And only 3 personal fouls, and 2 of those came late game. So did have to throw 2 turnovers, kind of Jaden-esque, but he was a +7, and it felt like a +17 every time he was out there. I found myself rooting for him to shoot. We shot so poorly at the line tonight. He shot 3 of 4, probably one of the better performances at the line, other than maybe Towns. But man, that was a good game, Jaden. And I almost want to give him an A1. Does anybody disagree with me that he would be an A1? I don't have the Discord to change my mind. I think he defended super well. Yeah, there was actually one of those calls that wasn't even a call. Like, I didn't even see it real time, and then Maddie pointed it out to me that he didn't even touch him. And he just jumped up, no touching, whistle. That's happened to him like 3 or 4 times this season. Probably more, but 3 or 4 egregious times like tonight. I kind of think it's an A1 night for Jaden. I feel like Towns obviously took over, but like, I almost don't think we win this game without Jaden. You know, I think he was that good. Jaden, A1. That is Jelson's closing note tonight. I'm going to go with that. A1 is lofty, but not a bad call. It is lofty, but I feel like, I reserve A1 for games that I'm not going to forget. I'm not going to forget this Jaden game. This was a good Jaden game, and maybe it's because I'm a doubter, but I thought this was a really good game. So, yeah. He did start in the second half, too. I took over for Ant, which is probably good. Ant wasn't having necessarily the best of games, but he did take that offensive load. You're right. Pretty incredible. And we needed more. Yeah, Jalen, too. We need more Jalen minutes. We got to figure out how to get him more minutes, get him in better spots or something. I don't know what's going on. We'll give him A1. This is maybe too high. I'm doing the show solo, so no judgment here. Next up, though, McDaniels was more ignored than he was good. It's an A in my opinion. Or A in my mind. I don't know why I said opinion. Yeah, I mean, it was for sure an A game for me. There's no way it would be beneath an A for me. I thought tonight was incredible. We'll keep it at A1 for now. But if I get backlash, I'll change it. Anyways, next up, D'Lo, the person that made everybody stand. I stood, by the way. I stood the whole, not first quarter, but I did stand for a while because we did not score for a while. But D'Lo tonight, honestly, not a great night from D'Lo. He did have a lot of assists and actually some really good dimes to Cat near the end to get those threes. And they just kept running the same play over and over, just pick and roll, pick and pop. It was too easy. 18 points, 4 rebounds, 11 assists, 5 of 20 shooting, 4 of 14 from 3. One horrific end of regulation score. Horrific end of regulation, not score, shot. He was apparently a +17 tonight. And you know how I say usually they feel that they were a +17 and they felt like it? No, he did not feel like a +17. Why did people stand until the Wolves score? Godfrey, because D'Lo told them to. D'Lo told the fans that wanted them to stand, like, do it like a high school game or a college game. Yeah, I was a GOAT stander for real, but pretty bad game from D'Lo. I hate to say this on D'Lo because this is kind of like D'Lo's night, but it was a pretty bad game from him. I mean, I don't want to give him Wancho. I don't think it was that bad, but there were a lot of shots that were just like, man, especially when we were down bad. he missed, and then how many free throws did he miss? I guess he only missed 3. It felt like he missed every free throw. Also, my wife and I were talking about this at the halftime show, or after the halftime show. D'Lo came out, and so did Beasley, and they were getting shots up. Beasley was taking threes, practicing threes. They were the only ones out for a while, and D'Lo was practicing free throws. I swear to you, he missed 50% of his free throws practicing tonight. He was just off. And I also think I was noting this to my dad and Maddie. When D'Lo's off, he does that pump fake, that exaggerated pump fake, way more. But yeah, I was asking if they actually did it tonight. They did it tonight. People on Twitter were saying that the fans didn't. They might have just been seeing empty seats, because everybody that I saw in the lower bowl anyways was standing. I don't think anybody was sitting. If they were, it was a very small number. But plus minus means nothing in this game. True. Yep. And yeah, OT. He's typically the bench with the first unit. So after our hot start, he didn't get any minutes in the minus. Yeah. Yeah, you know, I mean, plus minus isn't really obviously tonight not indicative of that. We didn't even, you know, it was just obvious. But yeah, it was a bad night for him. I don't think I'm gonna go as far to say Juancho level, but it was bad. It was definitely a D. It was D low tonight. Where was the ice at end of regulation? I don't know. I think his arms froze because he missed the basket by feet, not inches, feet. Bad. Just bad. Terrible play too. You know, interesting. Another little side note about that play. Pat Bev, after they had the timeout, went up to a ref and told him that D'Lo was going to try to do the rip through, because we were in the bonus and D'Lo could have gotten the rip through, gotten free throws, and then iced the game. Maybe. I mean, they would have still had a shot at winning it, which may have not worked in our favor, but that would have been a thing. And then I think he had Plumlee on him. He got Plumlee on it, and with like 4 seconds, I was like, he's just going to shoot it, which is fine. You know, I think on this kind of a night where D'Lo was calling out the fans for not being loud enough previously, it would have been great to have him hit the game winner and have it be loud in there, just as a story, you know. But it was terrible. It was really bad. Someone in chat asked if the rim was crooked based on... Yeah, I mean, it was insane. We were saying D'Lo scoop layup in the Discord. Yeah, a scooper. Yeah, that would have been interesting. I was kind of okay with D'Lo taking a shot, but like he took such a deep shot, and it was just like poor rhythm, poor everything. It was just bad. Jared, wonder if Ant will play tomorrow or rest. Honestly, I won't be surprised if he rests. If he was out for the last half of this game, when do we ever see Ant do that? You know, rarely. So I feel like it's got to be somewhat bad. It is nerve-wracking. But, you know, I kind of hope he doesn't play. But, I mean, I do because I'm going to the game again. But I really don't want to hurt Anthony. So I also don't even really want him to play the All-Star game. Or not the All-Star game, the Rising Stars game. Anyways, D'Lo's a D. Well, look at this. We've got the perfect tier list going on tonight. I think we're about to make it a little bit more interesting with Patrick Beverley. I should actually know. We're going to go Ant. And honestly, I don't even know if we can grade Ant. We're just not going to grade Ant tonight because he didn't do much. He had a couple dunks. He's looking a lot better. I actually am starting to believe him in saying that he feels better. I thought that was just maybe him lying and trying to make the fans not worried or something like that. But like, I legitimately, the way he's moving out there does give me confidence. But still, it's still kind of nerve-wracking. I'm not going to grade him, though. He didn't play that much. He only played 17 minutes, 9 points, 4 rebounds. He was 3 of 10 shooting, so not great start. But realistically, the entire game, both teams were shooting so poorly. I think after the first quarter, it was like 30% to 30%. So let's do Patrick Beverley. Patrick Beverley, pretty good game from Pat Bev tonight. 35 points, 35 minutes, 15 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks. Only 5 of 12 shooting, 1 of 8 from 3. Man, we sucked from 3 tonight. He had 6 personal fouls, so he did foul out. But he was energy tonight, and he was felt tonight. He was pretty good on defense tonight. So he was on LaMelo quite a bit, actually, until we switched Jaden onto him for certain times. but he did it. He did well. Him and LaMelo. There was like weird beef. Not beef, but it was like people thought that there was beef, but they were just like dapping each other up. So I think this was a great game from Pat Bev, energy wise. But I mean, this is his first game after signing a contract. Side note: he signed a contract. He will be with us next year. So that's exciting. I think that's good. It sounds like, from the sounds of it, it sounds like he wanted a multi-year deal in the $11 million range. So we gave him a 1-year deal in the $13 million range. I think that probably makes some sense. I mean, 2-year deal would be nice. 'Cause I don't think we're not going to want him in the next couple of years. But obviously, as players get older, injury prone, all these things, it's a tricky balance between making the person happy and making the business happy. So I think this was decent. Having for next year is important because I think next year we're going to be reloading. Maybe reloading with the same people, but we're just going to be fine tuning things hopefully to get further into the playoffs than we will this year, because I think we all, as I've still to this day, I mean, I don't think anybody expects some crazy playoff run. Sure, I think we could get the 6 seed, maybe even the 5 seed if the Mavs start losing, or Denver starts losing. But I think right now we're looking pretty good for the 7 seed if we continue to play the way we are. Just play in, but I don't even necessarily guarantee getting on the play in. But it would be either way. We want him for next year. That's the point. So for Pat Bev tonight, I'm gonna make this tier list very satisfying, and he's gonna be an A. I think this is an A tier night from Pat Bev. I think you don't necessarily expect as much scoring. You don't expect. I mean, you expect the effort, but like 7 rebounds and 4 assists is pretty nice. 3 steals and 2 blocks is insane. His energy, his defensive pressure, leadership, everything, crowd hype, everything. It was just all there tonight. It was all around package. Was it an unforgettable game? Probably not, but it was great. Now, we are on to the most difficult player tonight. Karl-Anthony Towns. He was, honestly, Ashwin, you're not wrong. He was each one of these grades at some point tonight. In the beginning of the game, it was Glenn Taylor tier. He was doing the things that he always does. That is what gets you into Glenn Taylor tier. Bad things that you do consistently and you never fix. He was doing that. And then he started getting to Wancho level when he's doing like weird behind the back passes underneath the opposing rim. I could not believe when he's doing that. And then other behind the back pass, just bad stuff. Super frustrating. He had some D's, like he wasn't shooting super well. And then he slowly ascended near the end of the game all the way up into this tier. Let's see. I'm interested. Cat has lost his mind. He has. He did fight it again. It was just so weird. What a bad, terrible, good, great, unforgettable game. You look at the stat lines though. He played 41 minutes out of he played overtime. So 41 minutes. He had 39 points, 15 rebounds, 12 of 26 shooting, 4 of 11 from 3, 11 from 13 at the free throw line. Felt like he missed so much more. 3 turnovers, and I feel like I remember 4 personal fouls, but tonight wasn't really necessarily so bad on the personal fouls. I think there was 1 or 2 that was really bad, but the last couple were not that bad. Jared, you got the free tickets. Awesome. Good to hear. Hopefully you got lower bowl. If not, either way, free tickets. Yeah, it really was everything. I don't know what to grade him tonight, but I do think I know what I am going to grade him. Why is he lying about Wordle? Honestly, he came out and made an explanation that I think I'm still confused, and I think he's still lying. And I think people are just letting it go because they don't care, which is probably fair. It's a stupid word game. But there's just weird stuff. It's weird. It was definitely a weird. He's a winner. But I think all in all, this was an incredible game. He took over. made a bunch of threes, and he was not like hesitant to do it. He was like asking for the ball and taking the shot immediately. He did not care. Apparently at halftime, Pat Bev went up to him and he's like, "You're an all-star. Go out there and show me you're an all-star." And he did. I think he did. Tonight he showed it. I think he wasn't necessarily happy with his performance, which makes sense because it was an all-over game. I won't forget this game. Someone hacked his Twitter again. Yeah, probably. Chucky is Chucky again. Gerald says, I give him an A1. Just his activity in the fourth quarter and overtime was best and was his best career game, and I'll never forget it. I won't forget this game. I wasn't going to give him an A1. But then I can't really give Jaden an A1 if I don't give Kat an A1, right? Man. I mean, I guess, it's just like he had such bad plays at times. I think it has to be. Maybe it does have to be an A1. This is an unforgettable game for sure. I think maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. Maybe it is A1. I'm just being a hater. Only reason I was going to say A, and I think it's a pretty solid A, because, I mean, obviously, 39 points and 15 rebounds alone with no context is incredible. But the context does add some things, I mean, the 39 and 15 points, no context, is obviously an A1 game. But if you add the context, I think it does chip away a little bit at that. Obviously, the fourth quarter adds to it a lot. Fourth quarter and overtime. Super hype moments. The crowd was so loud, which is why I want to rewatch this game. But, God, he had such bad plays at times. He just had such bad. So we'll give him an A1. We'll give him an A1. We are 6 cents. Welcome back. But we just finished the tier list. So there's our tier list. An upside down L for tonight. Which is kind of what it felt like. We turned the L upside down. What is that thing that Jameis Winston does? He like makes his fingers like a W and he says eating a W or whatever. There's like flashed a gang symbol. But yeah, totally. The tier looks like the game was confusing, sad, and a little bit of joy, a little bit of satisfaction. Kind of fun to look at this like this. May I ask the question? You may ask. You eating W's tonight? Yes. Sorry, I lost my mind there for a second. Was an upside down game. Oh, look at my big face. Look at Aura. Wingstop. No. Oh my gosh, what a stressful game. All right, 6 cents. You may ask your question. What is your question? If anybody else has questions, feel free to ask. We're done with the tier list. We're done with over-under. And we got a game tomorrow, so I don't necessarily want to go on forever. But I do want to answer your question. But yeah, I mean, this was a fun game. Overall, I cannot wait to watch the fourth quarter and overtime, to hear the crowd through the TV, because at the game it was loud. I will say it wasn't like the loudest I've ever heard. The loudest I ever heard was definitely KG's first game back. Now, I don't have that many, but okay, I see 6 cents question. If you were the Hornets, would you give Miles Bridges a supermax? Ooh, is he in line for a contract? That's a tricky one. I don't think I would, but I don't necessarily think it's so far away from that. I mean, I don't think it's a max. I think he's like a solid, probably like a Zach LaVine contract, I think the Zach LaVine contract that he currently has, even though Zach wasn't happy with his contract, I think it was like 4 years, 80 million or something like that. I think that probably makes sense because he obviously is a big part of the offense. I mean, Terry Rozier obviously has been doing really well for you guys lately. But somewhere in that 20, okay, Ashman says 25 a year. Yeah, I think that's probably more fair. I mean, what's the max contract now? Like 30 plus, 30, 35 or something like that. Based on what I saw tonight, I mean, he was good. He was really good. I mean, he felt like one of the best players in the Hornets tonight. I mean, obviously the dunks are super fun to watch, but it's more than just dunks. And he's more than just dunks. He can make shots. I will be honest, I wasn't necessarily super mindful of his defense. But let's look at his stats. He had 28 points, 13 rebounds, and 7 assists. Oh boy, you guys are in that Wiggins situations, aren't you? Where it's like, oh, we have to give him a max, but he's not a max player. Who's giving Miles Bridges super max? Oh, super max. I didn't even pay attention to the super max question. I guess it's the same, but yeah, I think that Zach LaVine contract makes a little bit more sense. I would probably go more with like 4 years, 20 million maybe. Because like I think he's gonna be a solid player for you, and obviously he is a solid player for you. Um, but I think that probably makes more sense. I mean, if he's expecting a max, I think like Godfrey said, who's gonna give him the max? I don't think there's any other teams. You know, you are what you're worth based off of what somebody says they're gonna pay for you. You know, you or your services. You know, and I don't think anybody in the league, unless there's some desperate team like the Lakers or I don't know that has to. I doubt there would be anybody that pays him the max. So All-Star caliber, I think that's a possibility, but he's gonna be one of those last like shoe-in one, not shoe-in, last like Chris Middleton type where it's like, oh yeah, he's a really good shooter or he's a really good dunker or he's whatever. I don't think it's impossible, but I think to get a max, you should probably be an All-Star or at least like that level. He's borderline and maybe not even borderline. I don't know. You know, I might not be the best judge. Like I just watched tonight, and obviously he did well, but he did well. He did really good actually tonight. Um, who's gonna give Pat Bev 13 million? Um, Godfrey, stop asking good questions. No, I don't know who's gonna give Pat Bev 13 million. Probably nobody. But at the same time, Pat Bev he doesn't have to play for us. You know, he can walk away. So he's worth whatever we're gonna pay him. Uh, and if he wants to play basketball, he can do that. But we also want to treat him right. And I mean, I like with the amount of room that we would have had without him, I don't think there's anybody that we were gonna really add. You know, I think the Thunder tax is a real thing. I think people like to pretend that it's not. So I do think that it is a Thunder tax. I think he could have maybe got like a $7 or $8 million contract for a year for another team, for sure. 13 mil though would have been stretched mainly just because of cap reasons, but I think the Thunder tax is real, and for a player like Pat Bev, it is like a heavy Thunder tax. Um, Pat Bev got an extension. Yeah, yeah. We do have to overpay. We definitely. Ashwin, he's asking too good of questions tonight. Godfrey, shame on you asking the good questions. um, so let's see. West players going east. I think he's gonna be hard to get All-Star. Yeah. 23 next year. Are you talking about Pat Bev? Pat Bev got 13 next year. Only 13, not 26 or 23. 23 would be insane. I would be upset if we did that. Karl Anthony Towns has tweeted. Everybody quick. He says he quote tweets D'Angelo's tweet that I wrote that I read earlier. You showed out tonight, Wolf, Wolf, Wolf. Yay, I'll like it. Sure, I'll like it. But anyways, I think that's it. We got a game tomorrow. I'm going to the game tomorrow again. Going to be a little bit later. So I will be back on after like 30, 45 minutes after the game. I'll be here. We'll talk about the Toronto Raptors. Currently, let's take a quick look at the standings here. Looks like we are still obviously the 7th seed. Oops, sorry guys. We are a full 3 games above the Clippers. Excuse me. We are... How many games are we ahead of the Lakers? We're 4.5 games ahead of the Lakers. Sheesh. And the Pacers, what? The Portland Trailblazers are very far behind us. I think we've basically locked playoffs at this time. You know, we would have to lose all of our players, and then we'd have to lose every game. And even if we did that, it's possible we could still hang on, you know. Pretty insane. But we are only 1.5 games behind Denver. That is very doable, although Denver might be getting healthy. Dallas, for some reason, just won't stop winning. I don't even like their team, but they just won't stop winning. And then Utah, we're still 5.5 games behind Utah. So 4 seed would be difficult. We'd really have to go on a run. I don't think we're going to go on any run until at least after the All-Star break. I mean, we've only got 1 more game, but like we just need a break, you know. We can win tomorrow though. I think that's huge. However, we're playing the Raptors, and I think 6 Sense just said they're the 6th seed. Man, let's see. In the Discord, I full quit Cat and decided to become his enemy again. Then 1 quarter later, I gave him an A1. Yeah, Gerald. Crazy game. Won't forget this. Yeah, I won't forget it. Raptors are 6 in the East. I think we're probably gonna lose tomorrow. If I had to guess, I think we're gonna lose. Sixth Sense don't think we're getting a 6 seed. If you're talking about the Wolves, it might not happen. I mean, we'd have to seriously ball out, and we'd have to have either extended injuries or, and obviously you don't want to root for injuries, but like, I don't know how we would. We're gonna have to seriously go on some crazy run because these other teams aren't gonna go on losing streaks probably. That's what you gotta do though. To beat good teams, you gotta be good. And tonight we were barely. But oh, no Van Vliet. Okay. But Gary Trent, he's been going nuts. So, anyways, that's it, everybody. I appreciate everybody who showed up. Pretty decently long sized stream today, but we'll do another one tomorrow. Tomorrow night after the game. And tweet from Vando, energy and Target Center was amazing. Need that every night. True. I want more energy like that all the time. We got to keep fighting in the play-in, bro. We're a playoff team. Yeah, both of us, both of our teams. Finals, right? Finals between these. That would be a fun finals. Timberwolves in 7, Timberwolves 6. All right. Good night, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow night, 45 minutes ish after the game. Hopefully we're talking about a win and we're 32-27. Holy cow, what an all-star break score record that would be. But even if we lose, I'm still going to be pretty happy. We're in a great spot going forward. So, great spot for what we expected. All right. Peace. It was great talking to you all. And I will see you. Maybe I'll shave for tomorrow's show. But I'll see you tomorrow night. Intro as the outro. 52 wins. All of the things. Good night.